This is the easy way to manage your personal revenue. Check it out. Fam, what's up? We are back on another Less Business, More Profit series, Business 101. All right, Business 101 tapers right into personal finances, right? So how do you manage your own personal revenue? We talked about managing business revenue on a previous video, but how do you manage the money when it comes into your personal side of the accounts, right? So I get this question quite a bit, especially from students. A lot of times we get hit with a big fat deal, and then they ask me, how to manage that on the business side? So I tell them, break down to 30% and allocations and all that stuff. But now, when they actually get paid on that and it moves over to the personal side, how do you manage it so you know where the money is going? You don't lose track of it, and it's not just, breeze in the wind after, a couple of days. If you don't have a good grip of how to manage your personal finances, none of what you do on the business side of things is going to matter, right? Because you're going to stay at that same personal financial thermostat that we're kind of wired to be in. So it's important to understand how you allocate also on the personal side of things. So that's what I want to talk about right now. This is how I manage my own personal finances. It's not accounting advice, it's not any of that stuff, but this allows me to allocate money and revenue into my own personal accounts, and really I have the ability to just segment by percentages and put it into places where I deem appropriate. The important stuff matters, right? So I have that covered. All right, so the first account that I'm going to talk about is going to be my Create account, okay? I allocate money on the personal side of things for things that matter to me, or vacations matter, personal time matter. And I don't want to live a lifestyle where I'm just kind of, figuring out, if I have enough money for a vacation, I'll take a vacation. I actually start planning for that kind of stuff, and I allocate money and I put it into my Create account. And as you can see, it's a big chunk of it because I'm an experienced guy, all right? So 20% goes into my Create account, and that's just a fund. Think of it as like your play fund, right? It's a fund to create memories. If I don't know, want to buy a boat or whatever, like it goes into that account. If I want to, get a PlayStation, it's coming in from the Create account, right? So it's anything that's going to put a smile on my face or my family's face goes into that Create account. So it's important for me to allocate money that way. One of the things that gets people on a regular basis when it's the extracurricular spending, all right? If you're not planning for that kind of stuff, everything's gonna hit, it's gonna feel like a hit on your pocketbook. Every time you, take a vacation to Disneyland or something like that, it's gonna feel like a hit on your regular finances. But if you plan for it and even start allocating, say that you make $1,000, all right? It doesn't have to be 20%, but start putting, 10%, 5% into it. That way you start building that Create fund, all right? So I started that way. To me, it's an important account, and I keep it nourished. The second account that I have is my wealth account. This is where actually all the income goes into, all right? So anytime I get money, I get owner's draws, I get paid, I get money coming in from wherever, it goes into my wealth account, right? That's the wealth account. It's like the wallet account. From there, I distribute it over to my other accounts. I like to have this one in place because, and I leave up 20% on that account. So I try to, allocate the rest of it, right? And I live on about 40, which is going to be the next one. But I allocate the revenue as it comes in from this account. I leave 20% in there so I can have money for investments and opportunities that come at me. So that's also, the same place where it rolls from, right? So the wealth account is the second one. Just so I know exactly how much money is coming in, I don't get confused with 3 or 4, accounts. It may be somewhat tasky to talk about, 4 different sets or 4 different accounts, but it really keeps clean, like your accounting clean, and then your things prioritized. The third account is going to be my Live account. My Live account, this is living expenses, right? The mortgage comes out of here, the car payment comes out of here, anything that's just living expenses related, right? It's not joyful smiles, no vacations, no toys, no nothing. Anything that I need, and I have a specific, at this point, I know exactly how much I need to have my monthly needs covered, right? So I drop 40% into that account, living expenses. A lot of times they're surplus. If they're surplus, I just leave it in the wealth account, right? But I live on 40% or less of whatever my monthly budget is, right? So it's important to have that number, figure out what your mortgage is, figure out what the combination of your car payments are, your insurance, how much is that, your utilities, how much is that, and then understand that you have a number, you have your golden number where you break even, right? So that's your living. If you were not gonna make any money next month, how much would you need in that account to be okay, right? And then ideally you wanna multiply that times 12 and you wanna have that, that kind of buffer in there. But start allocating funds to these things. Even if you don't have, that big source of revenue coming in yet, get used to allocating in percentages, right? Drop some money into those accounts accordingly. That way you get used to it, and when the revenue increases, the numbers are gonna increase along with it. It's a practice, really. It's not a matter of waking up, one day and then dropping money into the account and making it grow the next day. It really doesn't work that way. But if you turn it into a practice, it can actually, make an impact, right, on the long run. So, all right. And then the fourth one is going to be the flow account. So anything that's debt, for example, revolving credit card debt, that's not part of my fixed expenses, goes into that, right? So I don't know, say that I do a charge on a credit card because I don't know, I had a business, expense, or I don't know, I bought something, whatever. Any open debt that's there, it's gonna be in the flow account. Student loans go in the flow account. They're not part of my living expenses because I really wanna get rid of those, right? So what I do is I allocate 20% of the revenue that comes in into the flow account, and then I pay off any debt that I have outstanding from that, right? So it's 4 different accounts: create, wealth, live, and flow. And I just kind of, put them in that order because that's how they matter. I want to create memories for my create account. I want to, retain my wealth through my wealth account. I want to live the right way through my live account and allocate there. And then I want to flow. I don't want to get stuck worrying about bills and whether or not I'm going to be able to make the payment of the credit card or the student loans or any of that stuff, right? So when this account is paid off, I take that money and then I leave it on the wealth, so I can use it to invest and just move stuff around, right? But these are the 4 accounts that I have in my personal banking, so I know exactly where to allocate the revenue that comes in, where to put money for vacations, where to put money for joys and smiles, and then where do I have to have this certain amount on a monthly basis so I can keep my lifestyle the same way it is. So that's how I do it. I hope that helps. If you like the content that you're seeing, or if you have any questions, because this actually came from one of the viewers. If you have any questions or things that you want me to go over and cover, just let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think, even about this. If you have a better way of doing it, I'm all ears. I want to find out more. I want to have a 2-way discussion here. So drop your comments and make sure that you subscribe, like, and share to the channel. Until the next time, stay focused. You got this.